Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This month, we've analyzed Attack on Titan. It is Attack on Titan month, Attack on Titan April. So we decided to end it off with our top 5 favorite characters of Attack on Titan. I'm here with my co-host,
Edgar.
Let's do this.
Now, this is not based on anything. This is not the best written characters. This is not who we think looks the best, who has the best design. None of that. Who furthers the story the most? None of that. This is based on our own preference, based on anything we want. Edgar, if you like the priest who got hung off the wall and was, just a crazy little dude, that's on you.
You just gave my number 1 away. I hope you know. That
I'm
was my
sorry.
favorite character of all time, bro. What are you talking
Dude,
about?
I'm so sorry.
Erwin, number 5. I don't know if you have him on your list, but
Why?
It should. Well, because he's the GOAT. Like he's like if I were to join the army and I knew I was gonna die, I'm gonna want him as my commander.
Come on, dude. He's like B-Tech Flaw.
If anybody can convince you into writing into a suicide charge, it's him. How could
Right.
you not? He's just so great.
Yeah.
On my list, I mean, it's also my favorites, but I also like factoring in like great written. Like this isn't top 5 great written characters for me, but I like having that in mind. He's just a fantastic character. It's just, and he's one of those characters that you can kind of feel like they're gray from the start. Like you feel like there's more to him, and he's just so cool. He has a great voice actor, and the sub and the dub.
and dub. Yeah,
His
yeah,
dub kills it in the show.
Oh yeah.
But he's just great. He's just one of the coolest leaders in all of anime. And seeing him go out, he had one of the coolest episodes in going out. Spoiler alert, but why are you watching this?
Yeah.
If you don't know, why are you watching this?
What are you doing here?
If you don't know how Eren goes out. But one of the coolest moments in the show, yeah.
My number 5 is Levi. In choosing my favorite characters, I always have character development and written, especially
Same.
with how well Attack on Titan is done.
Mm-hmm.
However, Levi isn't necessarily a new character. We've seen it done before.
Cool, dark-haired,
the
kind of
the quiet, cool guy, who's
secretly powerful.
who just destroys everything in his way, and he's kind of small.
A Beyblade.
Yeah, a Beyblade, basically. But there's something about when Levi enters in any scene that just makes me so immensely, extraordinarily hype. Like when he goes Beyblade against the female Titans, and yeah, it's great. He's just awesome, and he gives me goosebumps in ways that I because this is a show about Titans and one small famished man against this because he is.
I mean, he's swole now, but
he's swole now, but
skinny boy before. Then
exactly. I love his OVA. I think that his OVA was great. And also, the way he's a leader to his compatriots, I think is really, really what put him on this list for me. Because it was close. There was another character, and we'll talk about that in honorable mentions, where I wanted to put on here. But the way he reacted to Petra's death, it was Petra, right?
Petra.
Yeah. But that really hit me when the dad came up to him and was like, "Hey, I also just love when, I just love that Eren, even though he's like this colossal like antagonist at the end, and he still like kicks him. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, that's great.
Levi's my number 4.
Levi
Again.
Genye.
This might happen. I hope for some variety, but obviously the favorite characters are gonna be.
But you might like him for very different reasons.
Yeah, he's just great. I mean, all the points that Ben said. He also has one of the coolest nicknames ever. Humanity's strongest soldier. That's what they call him.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's a really cool nickname. And I don't know. I mean, he has a cool. Have you seen the OVAs? Yeah, that's just sad, and it's just cool, and it's just great. It just adds depth to his character. It's just like one of those moments where like he's more than just the quiet guy for the sake, being quiet, and he just loses so much over and over, and just the way he's able to just hold it together. I would break down if I were him. Yeah. And like one of the moments I like is when he smiles and he thanks like his comrades, or at least his underling, not his underlings, but you know what I mean. Eren and the gang, he thanks them for like just. I guess being there with him and like managing to feel like a family of sorts, even after Erwin being gone. It was a super nice moment. And after reading the manga, he just has like well, I mean, maybe not a perfect, but he has one of the most in terms of like completing his character. He's on the better end of things in the manga, and he has a really cool panel at the very end, and it's just great. I'm glad to see where he ended up, and he's just one of the coolest characters in the show and manga.
I agree.
Number 3.
No, wait.
Oh.
My number 4.
I'm just by myself here. Let's skip over it, Ben.
Number 3 for me.
No, 4.
Number 4 for me.
Yeah, let's just go to 3.
Yeah,
let's just screw it.
Screw it. We'll just do it out of order.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me is Armin. Armin Alert. I love me some Armin.
You're gonna see a lot of repetition. I'm really.
Oh, it's your number 3, Armin. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll say mine quick. I'll say mine quick so that I don't take up because I took up a lot of the Levi thunder. So I'll say some stuff real quick. Armin is a very, very flat character arc, which is at the beginning of the story they have a very good idea of what's right and what's wrong. And at the end of the story, they still have that ideals, but they have a change of status. They have a change of, and with Armin, that comes with the Colossal Titan. That comes with him being the commander of the Scouts. That comes with all of this stuff. But I think a lot of people sleep on Armin's character development. Armin's character development is not one that is, a change of antagonist to protagonist. It's not a change of hero to villain. It's a change of maturity. It's a change of bravery, of courage. Towards the end of the story, he sacrifices himself not just for the whole world, but for his friends as well, which I think is just so, so awesome. I love Armin. I love Armin Alert. Your number 3.
My number 3, Armin, as you said before already. Yeah, I just love his character, and he's just he's one of those. He's a very tame crybaby, and I mean that's not what he's known for.
No, I don't think he's a crybaby.
But he's like his like I guess his genre of characters is what people call him. He's a smart character. He's the smart, the smarts of the trio.
Yeah.
Is what he is what you usually get with most trios in anime and shows. But he, as the story progresses, you see a lot more out of him, and as they kind of put this kind of weight on him, he starts to realize that he never asked to be like the smart one and the one that with the plans and that everyone should trust, and that you can see how it like kind of like anchors him and how he realizes how much people trust him and he feel like he doesn't deserve it even in the very end after Erwin's death, and realizing that he's not the right guy for the world. Like he never asked for this, and he feels it. And one of my favorite moments is when he like realized that this character, this person that everyone thinks he is, he doesn't deserve it. And that's what makes him great. He's one of those characters. He's like what John used to be. Like, one of those characters who's earned every single title they've been given and feels like that they shouldn't deserve it. And those are the best kind of leaders that I like seeing in storytelling.
Oh, like Jon Snow?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, John.
Oh, I thought you meant John from
no,
Attack on Titan.
Well, him too. I mean, I guess you can say him because...
I was kind of nodding to that,
Yeah, but I was talking about Jon Snow.
I agree. He's very Jon Snow.
Yeah, and the best aspects.
Just without the brooding and all the black.
And she's my queen without all of that.
Without the she's my queen stuff.
Yeah, but that's why I love Armin. My number 3, he's the GOAT and a great leader.
Yeah, my number 3 is Reiner.
Oh my God, man.
Reiner. Is that your number 2? Okay. All right. I won't steal.
No, just say what you want.
Okay. He is the furtherment of one of the best moments in anime history. One of the best plot points I've ever seen. When he changes into the Titan, his whole character just adds 4 separate layers to it. Inner turmoil within Reiner is so fascinating to watch and see. His whole thought process, everything that goes on inside his head is so innately human that it is baffling that he was one of the main antagonists of the show. The best scene in Attack on Titan, in my opinion, involves him and Eren. And it's when Eren arrives at Marley and they're under that building and they're all going to die. Well, Reiner doesn't die, but you know what I mean.
Eren's like, you're all going to die.
Yeah, exactly. Like even the small stuff, like that scene where he talks about how terrible it was in Paradis. That was awesome, where he was like, the potato story. That's just so great. Like, he is just an innately great character who brings so much to the story. He's great. He has an awesome Titan form. I love him.
my number 2 is Reiner.
Yeah.
As you proceeded to spoil every single list, I'm waiting for what your number 2 is now. But he's like the best example, and was the first time that I noticed a background character shoved to the front. And I'm like,
Right.
but he was like a nobody, like, because nobody before you realize that he's our armored titan, no one cared who Bertolt and Reiner were. They were like in the back.
Yeah.
They were like they had like some charming moments, like Reiner, like Historia, and Bertolt was tall, and there's like really nothing much to them, and I just loved that. I just like it was such a whiplash, but it was like one of the best examples of a that were handled of characters that were unimportant with all this importance and foreshadowing
Yeah.
behind it, because there's a lot of foreshadowing, like hinting that they were the
Oh,
enemies,
yeah.
and there's a lot of good stuff from his background, which is like makes you side with him and makes you feel for him. Other than another character that I have tied for, I think he's probably one of the most, if not the best written character in
Yeah,
the
I agree.
series, and he's just so good, and he's one of those characters like, man, he deserves a break. He needs to
Yeah.
rest. He deserves it along with a lot of characters, but man, he's has a special place in my heart in this series. So number 2 for me, yeah.
That's great. That's great.
What's your number 2? I can't.
Eren
Oh my
Yeager.
I know what your
My
number 1
2.
is now. Just
my,
based
my
off.
number 2 is Eren.
Oh my god.
If it was probably unwritten, Reina and Eren would probably be tied for number 2, right?
Yeah.
But Eren it's not something that we haven't seen before, right?
Yeah.
In anime, of course, we've seen it with, Death Note with Light Yagami, and there's a
Lelouch from Code Geass.
yeah, of course. Overall, in modern media, we've seen it done with Walter White. Edgar's wearing a Walter White shirt right now.
Hey.
We've seen it with Sweeney Todd, where they go so far and they do things and they murder, and you're like, yes, 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 until they murder too much, and you're like, wait, stop. What are you doing?
Wait.
Yeah, he is the classic, what everybody loves, protagonist to antagonist fall. Everybody loves a good negative character arc. And to go back to this is something we've seen as far back as the Greeks with Medea, you know? Every time I watch Medea, I think of Eren. Like every time. I just read it.
Does
very
she also cut
recently.
off her leg and
Well,
gouged
no,
out her
but
eye?
she cuts the throats of her children.
Okay, wow, that is yikes.
It's very Eren
On the
Yeager-y.
same, yeah.
Come on, yeah. I think he obviously is the catalyst for all the big moments in Attack on Titan, because he is the main character.
He has Attack Titan. He is the title of the show. Like,
exactly. But he's awesome. I didn't necessarily like him at the beginning of the story, but he
very generic,
eventually-
becomes
yeah.
very
becomes very deep in depth. Yeah,
Mhm.
everything about him is great. But yeah.
Eren. Yeah, you pretty much touched up on it. Like, he's just it. You could say that it's like kind of overrated to put Eren as your favorite character.
Nah.
But
I
I
don't
think
think so.
he's an underrated of the overrated saying.
Oh.
Because like while people do say that, I feel like people kind of put him up on number 1 for like the wrong reasons. Or maybe I'm just saying that just to seem different from anybody else. But I really do look into his character, and I really appreciate what was done with him.
Yeah.
He went from a generic protagonist to like a very fleshed out character. One of my favorite episodes with him is like under the cellar. Well, not the cellar, but like in the lower basement in Marley with Reiner. One of my favorite conversations and moments in Attack on Titan. And I just love how much of a grip hold he has on that situation and how much control he has. And
one of the best acted moments too. Like
that
from the sub.
Yeah, that and the table scene with Mikasa and Armin. It's just so great. I just love his character and his ideologies, as twisted and as wicked as they might be. If you like look into it, in a sense, you could call him justified or not justified, but just the fact that you have to question it just makes him such a great character. And I just love how he commits all the way through, even in the ending, even in the manga. And like in the end, like, this is what I'm gonna do, and you have to stop me. But he's just so great. He's just a cool character. I'll always have him in my top 10 anime characters, or just characters in general.
Yeah.
He's just so great. One of the easily best protagonist turned evil characters, has been mentioned, and that's what makes him so cool.
Yeah. Very
Ben,
cool.
I want to guess. Can I make a guess at what your number one will be?
Yeah.
Here, I'm really wondering what it is. You actually have no idea. Oh no, are you serious? It's peak, isn't it?
It's Beak.
Oh,
I'm
God.
kidding. It's not
Oh,
Beak.
okay, 'cause-
it's Erevin. It's Erevin.
Oh
Smith.
yeah, you didn't. Oh
it's
yeah.
Erwin. So
I-
literally, our list has just taken Erwin and gone to the bottom and moved it up.
What?
So we're yeah.
well, it's like I love
Yeah.
Erwin. It's just not that I didn't like him as much. It's just I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it that our minds worked like that, even though
Yeah.
you almost went in exact order as mine did.
Here's the thing. So I binged Attack on Titan beginning of last year, maybe end of 2 years ago. I'm not sure. I don't remember when that happened, or when I started watching it. It was I was fascinated, but I wasn't hooked. Right. The moment I got hooked, I texted Edgar and I said, I don't like Erwin. Like, he is crazy.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
I was like, what does he do? He just throws away lives.
Yes, suicidal maniac.
And Edgar texted me and he said, that's fair. He is a very selfish man. He does things by himself, but he has a goal and he will go for that goal no matter what. And I was like, and then I remember the next episode was his backstory. And I was that was the moment I was hooked.
Oh, with his father and like being a teacher. Yeah.
Exactly. Every time this man speaks, goosebumps. Every time he does something, goosebumps. When Annie's hand jumps off and all the scouts are running away from it,
And he
and
stands-
Erwin just stands there,
Yeah.
and the voice acting for the dub and the sub, where he's like, my soldiers rage, my soldiers scream, my soldiers fight, my soldiers rage, is just, oh god, it's so awesome. His end, I feel like, is so poetic. He fought and fought and fought so hard to get this one thing, and he can't fight anymore. And when he slaps away Levi's hand, I was astonished. Like, I was like, oh my god, this character is like one of my favorites of anything ever.
Yeah. What makes Levi choose to not revive Erwin? Because Erwin says, he asks a question like he's in class, what's beyond the walls, realizes that this man's just going to keep fighting for as long as
Yeah.
it comes, and he's not going to be able to rest. And Levi cares about Erwin and knows that he's not going to stop because that's just who he is. And that just makes him such a great character.
Yeah.
And I just love that. It just makes him, I think he's on my top 5 or probably top 3 best written characters in this series too.
Yeah, I agree.
So great.
I agree.
I can see that. Aaron might move up my list now, but I'm gonna stay firm with mine.
Anything else, Edgar, to say on this?
Aaron can solo all fiction, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. All
Yeah,
right,
even
let's end
Goku.
up
Aaron
there.
beats
Yeah.
Goku, and make sure to yell Aaron Yeager's in the theaters.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you guys, what do you guys think of our top 5 list? Obviously, this is our opinions. We would love to know yours in the comments below. Do you have anything that you didn't like with our list? Is there a reason why you liked a character just as much as we did, but for different reasons? All this stuff. Leave a like, subscribe, go to our Spotify, follow us there, go to our Instagram, follow us everywhere. Anywhere you search up the Manga Monday Show, you will be able to find us. And we'll see you guys on the next Shonen Junk.
Bye bye.